Good evening, Phins Nation, and welcome to on Sports Nation here on FTSN. I'm Bobby Phins Talk, and I'm here tonight on this beautiful Friday evening to discuss the Dolphins versus the Commanders in Spain. Why am I doing it now? Well, because I will not be here on Sunday morning with Sammy and Finstanza. I will be at church. My daughter's in the choir, so I thought I'd come on here and talk some Dolphins versus Commanders, which should be a fun game, at least if you're a Dolphins fan, minus both teams being 3-7. I mean, coming off that exciting victory by the Miami Dolphins over the Buffalo Bills just last weekend, and all the hype behind Miami right now, 30-13 win over Buffalo. Couldn't be more excited about what potentially could be the Dolphins. Again, it's going to be, if they win, which more than likely they will, they should, they'll be 4-7. So there's a lot of excitement for Dolphin fans, especially the ones that just enjoy watching football. I know there's others that right now they're just down on the season, which is understandable. There's nothing to be excited about because we don't really know for sure how this season's going to turn out, or we have a feeling how it's going to turn out. But we go game by game here. I go game by game. So the Miami Dolphins, 3-7, taking on the 3-7 Washington Commanders in Spain. The team is already out there. There's a lot of fans that flew out there from South Florida to support the team, which was really cool to see. I see a lot of familiar faces out there, which is really neat. The Dolphins currently ranked 25th in offense, averaging 21 points a game. The 24th rank in defense, allowing up to 25.6 points a game, where the Commanders are 18th in offense and 30th in defense. They score about 22.8 points a game on offense and 28 points they give up on defense. It's going to be a pretty it should be a pretty evenly matched game, except that the quarterback, there's no Jaden Daniels. It's Marcus Mariota. How's that going to turn out? Does the backup quarterback light up Miami's defense? Not if Miami's defense plays like they did last week. The injuries, we know Jaden Daniels is out. Jake Jackson for the defense on Washington is also out. He's on IR, as is Will Harris, their safety. Rasul Douglas, D. Eskridge, Bradley Chubb, all questionable. Both Rasul Douglas and Bradley Chubb have a foot injury. Austin Jackson actually just came off of IR. I believe he's going to start this game. Let's go ahead here. Ray Finkel in the house. What is up, my brother? Great to see you. I am live. Last time I did a show like this, I was actually recording. So that's why I didn't get to really talk to most everybody there. I had to did it very quick. But this one I'm live, so just taking care of some stuff. Ray, my girlfriend is a big Commanders fan, as I'm a Phins fan. So unless we tie, we're going to have a problem. It's a good problem to have, my man. It's a good problem to have. You more than likely, I think, will be standing tall at the end of that game. I'm giving away my prediction, but I really do feel strong about the Miami Dolphins for this Sunday's game. Sunday morning, it's Sunday morning. It's going to be at 9:30 Eastern time. So if you are a morning person, you're going to be in luck because you're going to get to watch your Miami Dolphins play Rise and Shine with that morning coffee, with that cafecito. If you're not a morning person, especially on the weekends, then you're going to have to force yourself to wake up and watch the game, unless you're totally like, you know what, I could live without watching the Miami Dolphins. I'm not one of those guys. I got to watch the team. So I will be there. It's going to be a problem when she's kind of mean. I get it, Ray. I get it, my man. You don't want a mean woman. I got you, my brother. I deal with that too. The game will be on the NFL Network and NFL Plus. So hopefully everybody will be able to watch it. Hopefully you all have the right cable company. I don't know who's fighting. I think it's ESPN, but let's see here. Tua Tagovailoa currently on the season with 1,952 yards, 17 touchdowns, 13 INTs, leading the league in interceptions through 2 last week, which we call arm punts apparently now. So that's going to be major for this game because this is a winnable game if there is any. And in order to for that to become a reality, he has to protect the ball. So hopefully he could have what he had in the first half of last week, which was a decent game. He had a very decent game until up to the end, and they still won. So hopefully he could do that this week against the 30th ranked defense in the NFL. How about Devon Achane There ain't no doubt. I heard a lot. Well, I didn't hear a lot, but some people wanted to kind of sneak in there mid-tier running back. He showed last week that he is no mid-tier running back. This guy is one of the top 10 running backs in the NFL. He is right there with the Jonathan Taylors of the league, the Derrick Henrys, and so forth. He is in that conversation. Right now in the season, he has 780 yards and 5 touchdowns rushing. I mean, can't beat that. Jalen Waddle, who was included in a lot of trade conversations, and could still be the case by the end of the season. I know these things are going to be revisited. He's having himself a decent year. He is currently at 670 yards and 5 touchdowns. Let me check. I want to make sure I got this right here. Devon Achane, he is currently 4th in the NFL in rushing. Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Rico Dowdle are the 3 guys ahead of him. What about Rico Dowdle out of Carolina? Man, what a season he's having. And he was supposed to be the 2nd, 3rd string. Pull this up here. I want to try to pull up Devon Achane's receiving numbers if I could find it. That's always fun. Gotta love a live show when things don't go your way, but that's okay. I will turn the camera on in just a second. Let's pull this up here. There we go. Look at that. Okay, 780 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns rushing for Devon Achane. Receiving, 325 yards receiving with 49 receptions and 4 touchdowns. He's special, man. Devon Achane is a special cat, no doubt. And I think he's going to have a great game today. Let me take a look here at the Commanders' rushing defense. Look at these numbers very quick. Pull this up. The 30th ranked defense in the NFL. Rushing. Yeah. They are the 29th worst ranked rushing defense, right beneath Miami, who's the 30th ranked rushing defense. So Devon Achane should be expected to have himself a really good game this Sunday. And maybe even Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon. But they have to run the ball, which they showed they will, or they should continue it. Pull this up here. One thing I found interesting, I'm going to pull this up, was our interim general manager had some things to say, and I found it interesting, especially if he would be our full-time GM. Let me make sure I put it up here so I get this right. I'm not going to type as hard as our brother, Phins. Shout out to Phins. He will be live on Sunday morning covering the pregame show with Sammy of Phins TV. Mike Cugno of CBS Miami spoke with Champ Kelly earlier today in Madrid, and this is one of his big takeaways. This is what he wrote on here. He, like Mike McDaniel, spent time with Mike Shanahan, but he doesn't believe in so-called coaching or executive trees. He wants to leave his own mark and doesn't want anyone to define him. When it came to trades at the deadline, he said they looked at each player in a vacuum. Decisions were made on what was best for the team. But here is what stood out to me. He's an analytics guy. Believes best way to build a team is through the draft. That sticks out like a very big sore thumb, especially for a team like the Miami Dolphins, who build their teams or try to pin their success for their team off free agency and trades. The teams that are successful around the league are teams that build through the draft organically, whether it becomes the offensive line, D-line, quarterback, they build, and then they go and catch those little other pieces here and there. Miami, many, many years under Chris Greer, even Jeff Ireland, whatever, is making the splash. Bringing Brandon Marshall, bringing Mike Wallace, bringing Mukansu, Tyreek Hill, Armstead, whatever. It's the shortcuts. It's trying to, and it pays off in regards of excitement, publicity, maybe a strong mid-season and then a complete drop-off by the end of it or get bounced in the playoffs. But there's no sustained success. There's no organic team. There's no foundation. There are some decent young pieces on this team. We can't ignore Devon Achane, Jalen Waddle. But this team is not built through the draft. The draft is kind of second nature. It's through free agency and trades. Miami, I think the right direction, the formula to win or create sustained success in winning is building through the draft. So when I see Champ Kelly says he believes the best way to win and build a football team is through the draft, I get excited. Again, I'm not banging the table for Champ Kelly to be the next general manager of the Miami Dolphins. I'm not doing that. However, in the short time that we've experienced Champ Kelly in this type of capacity, obviously saw a big win last week, which we know he's not the coach, but still a big win. A lot of people were hitting at him because they only did the Jalen Phillips trade. But after the win, he's not in the corner hanging out with the owner. He's not sitting there quietly by with a binoculars watching everything or whatever. He's hyped up. He's jumping, fist bumping players. It's like he's one of the guys. That stood out to me. But this right here was huge. So whether it is a Champ Kelly or if it is another general manager, whomever that may be, I want a guy who's going to think this way, building through the draft. Because if we really do want the Miami Dolphins to succeed, we don't want Miami eyeballing players through trade or free agency. We don't want that anymore. We need to be looking for guys, unless they're at the premier positions, offensive line, defensive line. If these are guys that are going to make a difference, that's different. But we want our team to be, what can we do to get enough draft capital to attack through the draft? Let's build through the draft. Let's build our team up by the draft. So we're not in cap hell like we are right now with the Miami Dolphins. So little by little, I'm not banging the table for Champ Kelly yet to be the full-time GM. It's kind of not fair because we might not get to see him do a free agency or whatever. However, when I hear and I see how he is with the team, and I've seen and I'm reading what he's saying, and I see that right there about being a guy who wants to build through the draft. You had me at build through the draft. I'm listening. So something really cool that I saw earlier today, and hope I'm going to listen more at it later just to see exactly, just get a feel for him and get an understanding of him. But that right there, I could see that playing out. I really can. I could see a Champ Kelly, Mike McDaniel combo if Ross says, you know what, I do like McDaniel. Let's say Miami, they beat Buffalo in a game they weren't supposed to win, and they dominated. And then they come out and they go ahead and let's say they dominate Washington. And let's say some way they make a run. And I'm not saying this is what I would do. I know what I would do, and that would be clean house, just to clean house and start fresh. But I can understand the concept that if Miami was to win this game and win enough games to be in the conversation or possibly in the hunt, then I can see a scenario where McDaniel and Kelly come back. Two young guys possibly sharing the same vision and saying, let's do this right. Let's build through the draft. And if that is the mindset for a Champ Kelly and a Mike McDaniel team for a future, then this whole talk about the big trade deadline where they were possibly going to do a fire sale and never happened, but they were listening in on calls. They were taking calls for every other player. I would not be shocked if that is exactly what went down after the season. We may see a very different Dolphins team before the start of next season. Because I could see Miami stockpiling picks and literally trying to, whether this year and next year, and then building through. Again, it starts on Sunday. It starts with Miami winning on Sunday. Because if they lose against a Commanders team that's 3-7, like Miami, with their starting quarterback out, Marcus Mariota in, then this whole conversation about cleaning house is going to come up again. That momentum will die. That picture in front of the elbow room with Mike McDaniel that everybody was loving and everything else, which is really cool, I thought it was neat, will look very corny if they lose on Sunday. So no matter what we're talking about with possibly Champ Gilly being the full-time GM or Mike McDaniel continuing as head coach, it starts tomorrow. You beat a very good damn football team, a Super Bowl contender in the Buffalo Bills. Great. That is awesome. Huge, big step. Shows the team didn't quit on the coach. Shows the team could fight. Shows that the team could win these type of games. But do not lose to the Washington Commanders. You can't afford it. You shouldn't. Win this football game. Very quick, just the keys, man. Keys to the victory for the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to tell you right now, for me, it's continuing to run the ball. Ride the A train, brother. Ride the A chain. A monster game against Buffalo. This is the 30th ranked defense in the NFL, the 29th, I think, whatever the hell I said, rushing defense. Take advantage of that and run all over them. Get Jalen Wright the ball. Get Ollie Gordon the ball. Jeff Wilson's in Spain. Get him the ball. Just run, run, run. I would like to see way more runs than I would see passes. But when you do pass, protect the ball. I don't want to hear anything about arm punts. I don't want to see anything crazy. Just protect the ball. Do your best to protect the football. And don't give these guys an opportunity to get good football field position and get easy points. Third, attack on defense. The Dolphins had their best defensive game against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Fumble from Josh, fumble from James Cook. Dominating pressure defense. Bring that to Spain. Put the pressure on Marcus Mariota in that offense and freaking neuter their asses. Finish them off. That would be huge. If we could see this team do what they did on offense last week and what they did on the defense's perspective, they continue that this week against a Commanders team who should be easy to do this on, then this will tell you where this team is headed, at least in the short term of the season. They might be going on a little bit of run, but it starts against the Commanders. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. I want to look, catch some info. The Dolphins will be wearing their aqua tops against the Commanders on Sunday. Again, the game is at 9:30 Eastern time. So if you're a morning person, grab your coffee, sit down, enjoy the game. If you're not a morning person, grab some Cuban coffee, some cafecito, sit down, wake yourself up, catch some Dolphins football. Pull this here. Okay, I don't see anything. Cool. All right. Gonna bring this back. So the Commanders, again, 3-7, but right now, I mean, they are the bottom barrel of the league right now. I mean, these guys have lost 5 straight, losing recently to the Detroit Lions 44-22, the Seahawks 38-14, the Chiefs 28-7, Dallas 44-22, and then Chicago 25-24. Of course, Miami 2-3 in the last 5 games. beating the Buffalo Bills 30-13, Baltimore 20-6, losing the Baltimore, beating Atlanta 34-10, Cleveland losing 31-6, and then of course losing to the Chargers 29-7. Everything about this game screams Dolphins victory. It really does. The Dolphins and Commanders are both in third place in their respective conferences. Look at New England sitting there at 9-2. Who would have thunk? Buffalo 6-3. Thank you, Miami. And Jets at the bottom of the league at 2-8. Both New York teams are 2-8. Very, very interesting. Let's see here. Let's go around the league for a minute and look at the Phins TV Pick'em League. And let's go around the league and let's make our picks. Currently in third place, sole third place. Look at that. Let's see. 99-50. I'm in third place. Over 50 people here, it looks like, on Phins TV. If you guys love Dolphins content, man, great production value, all that, go check out Phins TV, man. Sammy does the work. Great stuff. All right, so I did pick the Patriots to win. They won yesterday against the Jets, 27-14. Carolina Panthers traveling to Atlanta to take on the 3-6 Falcons. I got the Panthers. I do have Buffalo over Tampa Bay. Houston traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. All love and respect to Cam Ward, but I'm going to Houston on this one. Chicago. I have Chicago over Minnesota. The Bears will go 7-3. Got the Packers over the Giants, who just fired Brian Daboll as head coach, yet they kept their GM. The Cincinnati Bengals at 3-6 taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 5-4 in Pittsburgh. I do have Cincinnati winning that game. The Chargers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. This game was tough. This game's a tough game to pick. I could see Jacksonville winning this game. It is in Jacksonville, but I'm going to roll with the Chargers on this one. Chargers will go 8-3. 7-2 Seattle Seahawks against the 7-2 Los Angeles Rams. This is another very tough game. It's a divisional matchup. I mean, my goodness, you could go either way here and feel good about it. Rams being at home, but again, I don't know, man. I'm rolling with Seattle. I got to go with the Seahawks. Then we got San Francisco 49ers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Niners are 6-4, taking on the 3-6 Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett is the starter over in Arizona. I'm going to roll with San Francisco. And then Baltimore climbing out of the hole they dug themselves up in. They're 4-5, taking on the 2-7 Cleveland Browns. I got the Baltimore Ravens breaking even now. It'll be a 500 at 5-5. Kansas City 5-4, taking on the 8-2 Denver Broncos. Again, divisional matchup. It's going to be an afternoon game, 3:20 or 4:25. I'm going to roll with Denver on this one. I'm going Denver. They're going to be 9-2, and then of course Kansas City will follow the 5-5. Detroit Lions, a real good game here. Detroit against Philadelphia against the Eagles. I'm going to go with the away team again. I'm going Detroit, man. I got Detroit beating the Philadelphia Eagles. And finally, Monday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. 3-5-1 are the Dallas Cowboys. 2-7 are the Raiders. I'm rolling with Dallas on this one. I got the Dallas Cowboys with a combined score of 38 points. So those are my Phins TV pick'ems. Did really good last week. Hopefully I can get to first place this week. All right. My prediction for Sunday morning's game. Again, I will not be on the pregame show with Sammy and Finstanza. But so that's why I'll make my decision now. And honestly, again, as I've been saying, let's see here. I want to make sure the Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites. I have them winning this game. Is that right? 2.5. Am I looking at that correctly? I don't know. I'm not one of those that I don't know betting and all this whatnot. But anyway, I have the Miami Dolphins winning this football game. I got them winning 34-13. Miami over Commanders. I see Miami having a high-scoring game. I see them controlling the clock, dominating on the ground. I see maybe a passing touchdown or two. Jalen Waddle Devon Achane. I see Achane coming away with a touchdown in the air and on the ground. They're going to always be in control. And I don't see the Commanders doing very much. They score a touchdown and kick 2 field goals. That's about it. I can see Dolphins defense getting a couple turnovers. As long as Miami protects that ball and takes that ball away and they attack on defense, they don't let up, and they run and they ride the A chain when running the ball, it's going to be a 34-13 victory for the Miami Dolphins. As easy as you can get. But anyway, guys, I wanted to jump on here very quick. I will be on live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time, for the No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. If you love wrestling, come join me and Josh Kimmel. We will be we'll be turning back the clock and talking about the 6 greatest rivals of Diamond Dallas Page. I'm very excited about talking to Josh about that. We did the Kurt Angle episode last week. That was a lot of fun. And then, of course, even though I will not be on Sunday morning for pregame, I will be on postgame with Evan and the FTSN crew. I appreciate y'all guys taking a little bit of time in listening and interacting. Ray, good luck with you and your girlfriend. May the best person win. As much as I'm sure you prefer your girlfriend to win, so she's not mad, I hope she gets very angry with you, because I hope the Dolphins do win this game. And I will say very quick, I know a lot of people, and I've seen some express, they don't even know how to tank correctly. Why are we winning? We want that top 10 pick. We want that top 5 pick, whatever. I get it. I understand it. But again, I'm going to tell you, a top 5, top 10 pick does not always guarantee you a franchise-changing player. And the more and more I hear, the more and more I see, possibly a quarterback I love and that I really love, and I think has high upside, and Lamar Sellers more than likely will not be in this draft. He could be staying in college. Dante Moore out of Oregon, another quarterback, could be going back to college. Lamar Sellers supposedly rumored to be eyeing the Miami Hurricanes. So that's a win-win. I mean, a loss and win. We lose him not going into the league. We win because he goes to the Hurricanes. At least I do, because I'm a Hurricanes fan. Fernando Mendoza and a couple other guys there, and they're probably going to go 1, 2, possibly, maybe the Jets. Right now, I'll tell you, you could probably get a guy in the 2nd, 3rd round that you're going to be comfortable with at quarterback to be that, you do have Quinn Ewers. Hopefully Ewers gets an opportunity to show he could possibly be a potential starter or an adequate backup if we get a good enough, resume, and you're going to see what he can do if he gets some time on the field. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of good players in this draft at those important positions. Quarterback is a very important position, but so is right tackle. Austin Jackson can't stay healthy. We'll see how he does when he gets back. I would really love to see Miami look at possibly securing that right tackle spot. We got the left tackle and Patrick Paul. I would love to get a right tackle. There's some really good ones in this draft, man. I mean, Spencer Fanu. I think I said that right. I think it's Spencer Fanu. I'm probably butchering that. Let me make sure I pull this up here. You like that, huh? Ray's laughing. Pull this up right here very quick. I mean, look at these names. I mean, Caleb Downs, the safety. Miami's absolutely going to need a safety. Ruben Bain. I'm going to tell you right now, we traded Jalen Phillips. More than likely, Bradley Chubb will not be here after next season. Ruben Bain, do not sleep on that. If there's a run on quarterbacks, if Fernando Mendoza and so forth get picked up, Ty Simpson out of Alabama, Miami could easily pick up one of these star players, and I think they will, and I think they should. Yeah, Spencer Fanu, offensive tackle out of Utah. Francis Mauigoa, tackle out of Miami. He's a right tackle. He can play right tackle. He plug and play right there. He's a franchise tackle. I mean, imagine him and Jordan Love on both sides. Think about that. You draft Francis Mauigoa. You have Patrick Paul. Patrick Paul playing great football right now, showing that he was a good pick. And you got your 2 tackle, your bookend tackles. You got James Daniels whenever he's healthy, or you got to go get another guard there. Savannah, I think, should be moved to right guard. Then you go get a left guard. Possibly need a center if Aaron Brewer decides to leave or whatever the hell that plays out. But you got your 2 bookend tackles. You go secure your offensive line. Then you go get your quarterback. It's a different story in Miami if that goes down. Then you got Lemieux, who's also one of the offensive linemen out of Utah. There's a lot of good players in this draft, man. Jamar McCoy, the corner out of Tennessee. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, depending what goes down with Tyreek Hill and even Jalen Waddle. I'm not telling you that we should ignore the quarterback. Just telling you that there's some really good players that we wouldn't hate if you could get them in Miami, especially now that the quarterback room is starting to kind of dissipate here. You might be okay to take a quarterback in the 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round, depending. Got Garrett Nussmeier at LSU, John Mateer at Oklahoma, Cade Klubnik, Drew Alar. He's going to continue. He's fallen. He's injured. Might get him later. There's so many possibilities. So Miami winning is not going to hurt anything, in my opinion. It will not. Of course, if you want a shot at Ruben Bain or one of those top 3 tackles, probably want to be in that top 10. But, there's so many good players throughout this draft that I get it. I understand the whole notion now, especially that Miami is rumored that they could wait on a quarterback. But either way, here's and there. It starts on Sunday with the Commanders and the Dolphins. So anyway, I got the Dolphins winning 34-13. Guys, I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow if you love wrestling, or I'll see you on Sunday night post game. Make sure you watch Finstanza and Sammy on Sunday morning for the Phins Talk pregame show. Like and subscribe, and most importantly, Dolphin fans, Fins up. Appreciate you.